I'm continuing to work at my new project, The Show, which is a combination of music and neurobiology to support people in self-realization and self-growth, and using those wonderful neurobiological inheritance we have down the Homo species of being able to heal ourselves of emotional injury and trauma. And particularly been interested in reviewing the latest literature on music and its effects on the brain. Now, it's a building work of art, a work of science at the moment, and there's some just fascinating stuff in it. But I think the most important takeaway points from me is that music activates your whole brain. It's pretty much the only thing we know about that activates your whole brain. Lots of things will activate your thinking brain, and to a lesser extent your emotional brain, or vice versa, but music actually activates the whole brain. If we look at that in more detail, what we can see here is obviously the spinal cord here, brainstem, which is basic survival brain, but sitting above that is our core emotional brain. If I peel this off, you can see that in more detail. So there's the spinal cord, we'll lift this off. And what we have here are the corpus striatum and the thalamus, and structures that are very primitive but are critical to how our brain functions. Within this lies the core of our reward system, and music stimulates that, our emotional brain. If we look at the brain still intact, it also stimulates cerebellum and motor cortex, which is about here. Obviously that's response to the rhythms in music and the need or the desire to move to those rhythms. But really interestingly, music also stimulates all this, your prefrontal or thinking cortex. And the combination of all those things together prepares the brain for learning, for growth, for, in fact, we think plasticity, i.e. the ability to unlearn old patterns and find new patterns within your brain. So in the context of emotional injury, to unlearn dysfunctional, disharmonic emotional patterns of nerve cells in your brain, and to then create new patterns which are about you and your true self. For those that are new to all this, I'm Dr. Andrew Curran, I'm a paediatric neurologist, and I've spent the last 30 years studying the human brain, particularly with an interest to emotional health, emotional growth, and resolving emotional distress.